Hi there and welcome to the Barbara Young channel. Welcome to my Friday Sews. So as I would always like to start with, I just want to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating the hashtag Friday Sews. So we can all come together on Friday and share what we've been doing for the week. So if you just put that hashtag Friday Sews in, and you can have a look at what everybody else is doing. But obviously watch mine first. Today I've got two things for you. And the first one is a make, so let's have a look at that first. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or however many weeks ago it was, I showed you a pattern that I'd started on. It is the McCall's M7900, that one. And I'm effectively doing view C, which is basically like what the model is wearing, which is the longer sleeved, longer lined body, but the one without the ruffles on the top of the sleeve. Because those of you who may have watched my previous videos, you would have seen that I'd done this mock-up with the shorter sleeves and with this ruffle piece on the top of the shoulder, and it seemed quite clear that the ruffle was not as popular as I might have thought it might be, but I know that people do quite like ruffles, and I must admit, when I did this mock-up, when I put the ruffle on, I wasn't very keen on it myself neither. It didn't seem to sit very well, so I wasn't overly happy with it anyway. So I have omitted the ruffle, and there was a decision about the sleeve as well. This is the shorter sleeve that would have this designed to have a channel put in it about so far, a couple of inches up from the edge, and then you put some elastic in it so it would draw the sleeve in, but I didn't do that because this was just the mock-up. But yeah, there was a couple of tweaks and things and amendments that I'd done to it already, but I have finally finished it now. This top is done. So what I will actually do, instead of sitting here trying to explain, I'll put it on and then we can have a look at it. And here we have it. One top, one finished. I don't know, is it a blouse? I don't know if it's a blouse or a shirt. I don't quite know how you'd classify it. It's definitely a button through top. But yeah, it's very nice. I do like it. I think it's come out very, very nice. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll have a talk about how or what I've done to it and what I feel about this top. Now, with this one, what you've got is, I've got some notes, I'll have to have a look, is you've got several styles that have different lengths in the bodice, and longer or shorter sleeve and ruffles that you can have on the sleeve, even on the neckline, on the bottom. I omitted the ruffles because I don't think they quite sit right, they don't suit me, they're not what I'm after. So I've gone with the longer sleeve in the end, without any ruffle, and the longer body length slightly, and no ruffles. Now with this one, the pattern is designed with 3 versions of the front section for different sizes. So obviously if you're someone that needs a different size, need more size in the front for, you know, bust sizing, then this pattern does account for that. So for me and my body shape, I've gone for the smallest sizing, and that's the smallest sizing for the chest fit, but I've used a pattern size 16 overall. And then of course I still have to do some adjustments to try and make it fit better, because that's the nature of patterns. They start one size or another and you fit them for you. Of course I've had to do a little bit of fitting for this already. One of the things I had to do was take out a bit of material from the side here, because I had too much material across this section really, across the top bit. Just seemed a little bit baggy across this area here. So I took some out the side. I also took some off from the front because with this type of adjustment that I do, I always find that the top will either move in or move out like that, and then I have to adjust this line here to account for that, so then it's still sitting on the straight, as it were, on the up and down. So that's the main two things that I did to this. Maybe a tiny little bit of tweaking here and there, but really nothing else, much else to it other than that. Now, having said that, I have noticed that now that it is finished, there are a couple of things that I would prefer to change. The main one being the dart here. These darts are sitting too far in. They need to come out a little bit, probably by about an inch and a half. That's sort of like 25 to 30 mil. I need to actually move the whole dart as it is across, outwards slightly, just so it sits in the right place. But it's not too bad, you know, it's fine. It is something I did notice when doing the mock-up, so I really should have done that adjustment. I was just being a little bit lazy, I suppose. But hopefully next time when I make it again, I will work out and get that dart moved across, which will hopefully help with the fitting of it up here, because that dart, I mean, it will sit a little bit better. Other than that, maybe I might need to do a bit of adjustment on this armhole, but I feel it's good enough as it is not to mess with it unless moving the dart causes any other problems, but hopefully not. So yeah, that seems to come out quite nicely. Now, the sleeves on this are really quite nice. I like the way that they are. They've got this sort of poofiness here, a little bit on the shoulder, but not too much. But yeah, and it's done by the fact that you've got quite a wide sleeve end at the bottom of the sleeve, but then you've got this cuff on here. Now, the cuff is not buttoned, it's just one size, as it were. I suppose the only problem there is that with this particular type of cuff, when you reach up, it can pull up a bit, and it's quite snug as it is. So if I was to make it again, I would make that cuff just a little bit longer, so it's a slightly less snug, but it still fits, still all right, you know, and it sits just below the elbow, and I like that. It is a nice design style, I do like it. The neckline it's almost a square neckline. It comes down, but instead of going straight across, it does come in a little bit. So that is very nice. And it sits quite nicely on the back of the neck. You know, it sits quite sensibly, I suppose. It's not too ruffled up. I think I could have maybe done a slight adjustment there just to make it a little bit nicer fitting, but I wanted to keep a certain amount of ease in that, because obviously, you know, as you can see, it's not riding up too much and moving about as I move my arms about. So I'm quite happy with the amount of ease in there, without there being too much like bagginess in different places. Yeah, and the bottom bit has got this styling that the way the darts are means that it kicks out a bit lower down, gives it almost a slight peplum look to it, which I'm really quite happy with. I do like that. You know, that's a really nice design, actually. I wasn't too sure about it at first when I started it. Of course, the picture with the model makes it look absolutely brilliant. I do like it. The styling itself I was really drawn to. So that's why I decided to make it. So once I started making it, I was thinking, is this going to be quite right? But yes, I am happy with it. It has turned out very nice. Still one or two tweaks still to do, I think, if I was to do it again, but other than that, absolutely brilliant. Lovely top. There we go. Now, I said to you that I've got two things. One was a make, this, and the other thing I want to tell you about is an event I'm actually going to go to. There is let's see what it's called, I can remember, a little sort of event that's taking place not too far from me, and it's called the Quilt and Stitch Village, but it is actually a 3-day event. I suppose a bit like you've got like the Stitch Festival and stuff like that, only it's something that's being done nearer to me. It's actually at a place called Utoxeter, and it's at the Utoxeter Racecourse. And this event's actually been going for quite some time, because this year is the 11th year that it's being done. I imagine it's on a sort of smallest scale. It's not going to be a huge event, but I don't really know until I get there. So that is in, I know it's like in a couple of weeks' time. It actually takes place on the 25th, 26th and 27th of April. That's a Friday, Saturday and Sunday at the end of this month. And I saw it and I thought, well, it's not that far from me. You know, it's not right on my doorstep. You know, I do have to travel a bit to get there, but it's close enough that I thought, yeah, I'll go to that one. I'll see what it's about. Say it seems to be predominantly about quilting, but I'm sure I'll find out more once I get there and I can have a look and see what it's all about. What I'll try to do is obviously take some pictures and maybe a bit of video, so I can bring you some information, some stuff on that. Now, it's not that expensive. You can pay on the day at the door, which is £15, or you can buy a ticket beforehand, which is £10 if you buy it online. And just so you know, I'm not sponsored. This is not a sponsored video in any way. This just happened to be an event that I saw, didn't realise it existed, and I thought, hey, I want to go to that, so I am, and see what it's all about. So that'll be a nice day to go out and have a look at something different for a change. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing in a couple of weeks' time. I say I'll probably go on the weekend rather than on the Friday, because travelling around my area roads on a Friday, just don't want to get on them if I can help it. So I'll probably go sometime over the weekend and do a bit of, hopefully, like I say, some pics and recording of that for you. But yeah, that's in a couple of weeks' time. So there we go. That's it, really. That's all I've got left to say, I think. Don't think I've got anything else that I've actually done. So that was my week, and nothing else to say about. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next week. I actually haven't planned anything. I've not got no sort of consideration as to what next week will be, so I just don't know. Perhaps I might see if I can make something else, or I really don't know. I just got to have a look, because I've not made any plans as to what the next week will be for me, so I can't really let you know what I'll be up to at this moment in time. Be as much a surprise for me as it probably will be for you. So there we go. But that's about it then for me. One purple pop top with some, yeah, I do like this. This is really nice. So I think I'm going to enjoy wearing this this top, especially as it's sort of summery as well, isn't it? And we are coming into summer now. So there we go. So if you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. That way you get a notification of when my videos come out, especially if you click that bell icon. Please do comment. I do love reading your comments. It's really nice to hear what you're up to, what your thoughts are. And also, if you want to talk amongst yourselves, please do, because that's why we come here, to make those connections. So I think it's just left me to say thank you very much for watching my video. I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.
Poplin.